Stellar Blade is one of the most highly anticipated releases of 2024, and it is a game that is shaping up to be a behemoth release, but now we are finding out that the pre-orders are absolutely gigantic for this title. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. Now, I wanted this game to succeed from the get-go because years ago when it was initially announced, there were a lot of people, Puritans and activists, who were upset over this title's release simply because, of course, one of the things that they highlight is femininity and beauty, and all of these characters look to be very pretty, but at the end of the day, those people are going to seemingly lose their battle against this game because the official Stellar Blade Twitter account had posted Stellar Blade's pre-orders have reached number 2 on the PlayStation Store US. Thank you so much. And as you can see, it was even beating out more upcoming games that are closer to release, like Skull and Bones, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And of course, these lists fluctuate all of the time, and this was, of course, directly after another new trailer came out, and of course, there was just a little bit of outrage, but this is also when pre-orders had opened up because they only just opened up a few days ago, and of course, I am purchasing it. I am buying the digital deluxe edition. I want everything that this game has to offer, even the exclusive cosmetics. But yes, as you can see, the pre-orders are apparently fantastic. The only thing that was beating it out was the Show 24, and that is the digital deluxe edition. But being beat out by one single game really isn't that big of a deal because, again, it was beating out for a certain amount of time, Skull and Bones, the base and premium editions, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the base and premium editions, and not only were the sales fantastic for the PlayStation Store in the US, but it also was the second most pre-ordered game on Amazon. As you can see, this icon era post also highlights the Stellar Blade official account's post about how it reached number 2 on the PlayStation Store US, but also on Amazon US, the game is at second place in pre-order numbers, only being surpassed by the very anticipated Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I think we are going to see this happen a lot over the next few months because, of course, Stellar Blade does not release until April, so it's still got a couple of months until it's out. So there are going to be games that release before then, that go before then. Like, I do kind of expect the Princess Peach game to end up beating something like Stellar Blade for the certain amount of time until it releases. Same with Rise of the Ronin, Dragon's Dogma 2, but at least right now when the pre-orders have opened and, it's only really got one major competition, which is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, at least on the Amazon US store, which is fantastic, and I do think that we are going to see this game stay pretty close to the top of the pre-ordered / most anticipated charts until release because many people are extremely excited for this. I mean, this was one of the most recent trailers that they released, the new gameplay overview, and look at this, it's sitting at 40,000 likes to only 907 dislikes. This is being extremely positively received, except for the few people who are upset on social media that it's doing so good. I have had to make several videos on Stellar Blade at this point. There are a couple of specific activists who are infuriated over this game. Also, some Puritans who are just trying to get this title canceled, which of course is terrible in my opinion. These developers have clearly put a lot of love and a lot of work and effort into this game, and every time they speak about it, they're so excited for the future and, what they want to do with Stellar Blade and how they hope so many people will end up loving the game and at least giving it a chance because, of course, it is a new IP, so it is a big risk for any company to make. But then we also had the CEO CEO come out and say that they didn't want to see just an average looking lead character. They wanted to see something unreal. They wanted to see something that was beautiful. And I completely stand by their statements. While I do think it's fine to have ordinary looking characters in some games, because of course you can't have every single game have a beautiful character. There are going to be characters who maybe the way they look affects their, story arc. I think in a game like this, having a beautiful character, a trio actually, of beautiful characters on the front and as the leads really does help catch your eye and maybe even help catch the eye of somebody who wasn't initially excited for it. And the way that the characters look aside, this game seems like it is going to be fantastic. I mean, the gameplay looks really solid for it. Crafting systems. We didn't get to see really too much of it, but it seems relatively standard, but also exciting nonetheless. And I just think that this is going to be a game that many, many people are going to end up appreciating. And on the official Stellar Blade tweet, you have tons of people praising them for this game. Killer Dolls had said, I'm doing my part. I don't even own a PS5 and I'm buying it to support it. It is unfortunate that it is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. That is the one major downside to this release that I think is going to affect its sales overall, because I do think that obviously if it was on other platforms, it would have more of a reach and there would be more people purchasing it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm still going to be purchasing it on PlayStation 5 because it is not censored. I know we were all extremely worried that because it was a PlayStation exclusive, it was going to end up censored, and it's not. So happy to see that. But you've also got people already creating fan art, saying things like PC release when. I do think that this is a game that will eventually come to PC, but it's not at launch. I know that's going to disappoint a lot of people. I've never jumped on a game so fast since Nier. So excited. Thank you for making a masterpiece. There's just no way we're losing to MLB. I mean, it is, again, a new release. So, of course, Stellar Blade is not going to be #1 for the next few months until release in April. That's just not a realistic standard, but having #2 is still a massive win, and I'll take it, and obviously the developers are still happy about that. People are posting things like well-deserved, pre-ordered the deluxe edition today, can't wait to play. I also personally have pre-ordered the deluxe edition. I am extremely excited for this game, and I think that it's got a lot of assets that are going to get a lot of people interested in it, but I also think that it's important to support developers who stick by their visions and stick by their creations. Of course, this game was announced a few years ago. We saw the first teasers and trailers for this game, so they had plenty of time to actually censor this title if they wanted to bend the knee to outrage, and of course they didn't. And that is what I think is so important about this whole entire situation, this game's release, and this is why I've been talking about it so much, because I think that they do deserve to be defended at basically all costs because they have stuck by their vision. And unfortunately, with the state of the gaming industry right now, a lot of creatives are not willing to do that, so they definitely deserve a lot of support and just a lot of praise in general. It will be interesting to see it hit, it will be interesting to see how many times it hits the top 3 over the next few months. Only time will tell, but that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.